Nothing like that first save as a goalie. It kind of just settles you in, right? You just kind of feel good about yourself. Now, when we were talking to the coaches on our phone call earlier, one of the things, you know, that they were saying is like you kind of want the talent to get out and play and showcase themselves, right? And then, you know what? I thought that Coach McCabe had a great statement. He was like, you know what? We really want these guys to just have a moment tonight, right? This will be a fun thing for them, but we're here together. We're going to play together. Let's see if we can have a moment together and enjoy ourselves.
Jacob Johnston looking for his moment. Sailed it wide, headed up the Coach K bridge.
I'm going to say
take from the corner.
I'm going to say Walsh has got a save on that one, right? Why not? Because there's no shot clock.
Yeah,
I think he got to touch it.
No
right?
goalie bias from the former goaltender Greg Taylor.
Not at all.
From X, out to the right wing, played in by the Americans. That is Gavin Gilmore. Behind the cage, Gilmore, the future Richmond Spider.
And Richmond has made a nice jump into the upper echelon, shall we say, of college lacrosse.
Dan Riley joins the club. Another first quarter tally for the Americans. It comes, guess, from another future Irish.
The one thing that you're going to see, if we get to see a replay of this, one of the things that he does, he shows actually a little bit of strength right there, right? He's gotten checked, yeah, and he pulls through it and goes overhand with his shot. That's showing a little bit of muscle right there, over the top shot. I feel bad for Walsh in that spot because it does change the shot itself, but he puts it away. But that's a real nice goal right there. Showing a little bit of determination right there for the Irish.
Now the Nationals downhill, poked out of the long stick of Owen James, the future Syracuse Orange, and the turnover gifted back to the Americans. Seems like the Americans have had a little bit more success so far at the face-off circle. And in a game like this, really any lacrosse game, right, Greg, you want to control at the face-off top, but when you've got these type of all-stars and you win, you're going downhill, it's almost automatic.
And face-offs is one of those funny parts of the game, right? So if you could be an excellent face-off, I mean, you can't beat one guy, or he's got my number, and that's just kind of the way it works, right? You know, you can have a wonderful percentage, and just one guy has your number, and you kind of have to cycle through. Sometimes you need a break as a face-off guy. We were kind of asking both coaches on our calls this week, you know, what are you going to do with the face-off guys? And they're like, man, we're going to let them figure it out. Those guys kind of do their own, they kind of beat to their own drum, and he's definitely right about that. Face-off guys and goalies definitely do that. But he was like, you know, probably let them get 2 or 3 each, and then maybe rotate them if somebody gets into a groove, let them go a little bit longer, which makes sense. Let a guy get a little loose out there.
Yeah, both Gene and Pete kind of sympathizing on the fact that, yeah, we're going to be the coaches, but not a lot of coaching to be had. Maybe a well-timed timeout, a good pat on the rear end, but other than that, we're going to kind of let the guys showcase their stuff.
And you know, it's smart as well, though, too, and those both are veteran coaches, right? They run great programs, and they know you get out of the way from your talent. You let your talent play. Americans
moving and grooving. Oh, wild take. Tuck Gilpayne, one of the 3 captains of this team. And a pirouette did not find the orientation there in front of the net. He was really 5 feet out.
Yeah, he got caught backpedaling right there. He was trying to make a play. You know, but that's what you want these guys to do. That's kind of what you have to do when you have these kind of players, is you let them play. If they make a mistake, they make a mistake.
Great interception by Walsh. And he'll try and kickstart the outlet here, Ethan Bramoff. Down the central, Jackson Orcutt, the 2-time All-American, 2-time All-State. But who isn't in this game? Little dip. Little dodge, goes wide, backed up by the Nationals, trailing by 2. Final 4 minutes here in the first quarter. Again, 12-minute quarters as opposed to your typical 15. And a quick 5-minute water break between the second and third quarter to serve as our halftime.
You know, Johnny, you had asked me what I was thinking was what it's going to look like. I think we're going to look a little bit better right now in that like 6-on-6 early offense kind of period. I think the transition isn't going to look as good. Transition's got a feel to it. You got to know where the players are on the field. You got to know what they're doing. So I think the transition, wow, might look a little sloppy. This is an absolute rope right underneath the crossbar. You couldn't put that in a better spot right there, right? So Stamness right there, ripping it in transition. Right as I'm saying the transition isn't going to look as good, they score a transition goal, right? That's the way it works as the broadcasting unit here. But, man, I always found as a goalie, the long poles were the toughest to save because they come from a different location, and these guys can rope it. I was watching the PLL All-Star game, and at halftime they're doing the shot competition. They were doing the shot clock and stuff. Those guys are registering like 112. Who's stopping that? 112? Get out of here. So, like, he's shooting right now. He's probably shooting 100 miles an hour, and he's putting it right underneath the crossbar. There's nothing you can do as the goalie.
Yeah, kind of a catch-22 if you're a goaltender, right? You want to be in this game. You're one of the best in the country. You know you're going to be seeing some very difficult shots. Save percentage may not look good in the box score.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of rubber in a day like today. That's why you got 2. They should have 4.
Gilmore sends to X. 5 out of the first 7 belong to the Americans. Backward shot, no look, no eyes necessary. Is that a first quarter hat trick for Hunter Metz?
I think it is right there. That is he's pulling out all the tools right now. That is a great behind the back shot. The one thing that he's great at, that you've noticed, listen, you've seen a couple different ways that he's scored, but he is crafty off ball, right? That's just off ball movement right there. He puts himself in a great spot to receive a pass, just a little C cut on the crease and a behind the back shot. That's a nice play right there.
93-point season this year for the McDonough High School player in Maryland. That's known kind of as a workout warrior. Starting to show here, the number 12 overall prospect in that class of 2026, according to Inside Lacrosse.
93 points. It would take me 19 seasons to score 93 points.
Well, you're a goalie.
Yeah, it's a fair point. But still, I mean, that is unbelievable. 93 points.
It's 93 more than I've had in my career.
Yes. But, you know, and he's playing in the MIAA, which is a fantastic conference. So he's not playing against any slouches there.
All right, Nationals finding their footing, forced the turnover. Ooh, that is a tough grab. We play on. Not going to see many penalties today. Down to the doorstep and popped out of the cross. It will stay with the Nationals. And again, no shot clock, or it won't go with the Nationals. Going to go with the Americans. I was about to say reset of the shot clock to 60. That's not a thing today.
Not at all. So, and you're seeing it a little bit right now with the Nationals just in transition, right? They're just a little bit off. They're holding the ball a little bit too long. They're getting caught from behind. They're trying to find each other in transition. They're kind of slowing themselves down a little bit. Once they start seeing each other and start playing, I mean, they're really just going to get going here.
You'd expect offense to come a little bit easier than defense in a game like this, right?
In some circumstances, I would definitely say that. Like, listen, these guys are so talented offensively that you definitely should see that.
Curry could not get the shot off cleanly. Scooped up by George Kelly. Massachusetts native headed to Duke. Ground ball up for grabs. And lassoed in again by the Americans, this time by Bing Birch. The 2-time first-team All-State, Binghamton Birch. Part of that famous Stanwick lacrosse family, but he's a defender, correct? Not going to be your goal scorer.
Yeah, and the Stanwicks did it in both the men's and women's game as well, too. They're fantastic. 7 of them, I think, played. But I think we're looking at this now. I mean, they're just so athletic, these guys. I think, what are we looking at the scoreboard right now? So you got 1 minute left. You got a little timeout called. Probably get a little rest for these guys because they've been running up and down a little bit. You get your offensive unit on, and I think you go from there. If I was a betting man, I would put it in Metz's hands and see in his stick and see what he can do there, right?
Let's go Metz.
Yeah.
He's got 3 goals here in the first quarter. It's more than the entire Nationals team. And in a game like this, very difficult to try and get settled. If you're the team that's going to win a few more face-offs, you're likely to get a couple more past the goal line here in the first quarter. So Americans, they've been a little bit better at the center circle at Wolfie. It has reflected so far on the scoreboard. Again, these are 48 of the best players in the country heading off to some of the best schools in the country. Joined alongside Greg Taylor, who went to Stony Brook University, a one-time save percentage leader in the NCAA. I'm Johnny Wincott. 6th annual National Senior All-American game. And if you're playing in this game, there's a good chance you're going to be one of the best in the country.
Yeah, and you know what? You brought up some of the schools that these guys are going to be going to. I mean, Notre Dame, 7 players heading to Notre Dame. 7 players heading to Virginia. 5 going to Princeton.
That's half the group already.
I know,
right there.
right? Like, and those programs are just dominating there, right? But I mean, other notables as well too. You got 4 players going to Duke. 3 players are going to Johns Hopkins. 4 players going to UNC. So you got a bunch of guys going to some different places. I mean, it's so it's so exciting for them, right? That you're playing against guys that you probably haven't played a little bit against in the club leagues for sure, and then you it's like a little bit of a measuring stick, right, for them. Like, see where we stand, a little preview before they get to college.
Well, Coach did listen to you. They did feed Mets, doesn't work out. They try and feed it to the central for the outlet, eventually gets there. Lucas Garcia, one of the 3 captains today, donning that gold helmet. He'll be one of the 7 heading to UVA.
Captain for today's game as well, too. You notice, we'll get into it a little bit later, but 3 captains on each team. That's pretty impressive in this type of game to be chosen as a captain. That's something special as a player.
Timmy Plunkett could not split the double team. Winds up again to the cross of Bing Birch. Loose ball back with the Nationals. To the right wing, Cole. Well, it is Timmy Plunkett who started the sequence. He ends it, and he ends the first quarter, beating the buzzer by 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's a nice put away right there for him, right? The play's never over. He gets nice low and away, and he puts it in there. That's a nice little shot right there.
American 6, Nationals 3, just getting started here at Stony Brook. 48 of the best players in the country in the 2026 National Senior All-American Game.
Ortho Maryland has been servicing the community with orthopedic excellence for 100 years. With 4 locations in Baltimore and Harford counties, we offer same-day and next-day appointments, convenient online scheduling, on-site x-ray, and walk-in orthopedic care 7 days a week. From children to seniors, elite athletes to weekend warriors, our orthopedic specialists and physical therapists are ready to keep you active, thriving, and in the game. When life can't wait, Ortho Maryland is here when you need us. For more information or to schedule an appointment, reach us at orthomaryland.net.
Locally grown, nationally known. We are Crabs Lacrosse. For over 3 decades, parents have chosen us to help their sons develop a path to becoming college lacrosse players. Crabs Lacrosse is more than a collection of teams. We are a family. At Crabs Lacrosse, we focus on being 3 things. Always about our players, deliberate in our development, and focused on a positive experience and positive outcomes. Join us at Crabs Lacrosse.
Quarter number 2, National Senior All-American Game here at Stony Brook University. Joined alongside Greg Taylor, I'm Johnny Wincott. 12 minutes put up on the second quarter scoreboard. 6 out of the first 9 owned by the Americans. They dominated the face-off circle. They continue to do it in the form of Kieran Sweeney. Sweeney all the way, it won't go.
That's a nice save by Walsh right there.
First attempt after switching sides as well, going kind of from the sunshine into the shaded slivers. Chaminade native, maybe a little more comfortable here, still on the island.
Yeah, an easy commute for him to get here today for sure.
I should say Garden City native,
Yes,
went to Chaminade.
went to Chaminade. You know what? When you look at what they went to today, and we were talking to the college guys as well too, and I think Coach Toner had brought this up. It is kind of like a little bit of like a preview for the players as what it's going to be like to have a night game, right? You're going to kind of get up, you're going to have a walkthrough and kind of like a warm up at one point in time during the day. Then you're going to break, get something to eat, fuel up a little bit, and then you come back and you get your warm-ups going and you get ready to play and you're playing your 7 o'clock game. So in a lot of ways, this is kind of like a little bit of a warm-up in this regard for them. You're playing against high-level competition, and the way that they treated the game today is fantastic. The first off, the uniforms that they're wearing, the gear that they have, and then also the way the game and the day went as well too. Really a prep for what a college game day might look like in some programs.
Americans again, downhill, distance go, Walsh there. Hugging the near side post.
Kieran Walsh.
That's at least the 3rd save for Kieran Walsh. Don't have the running stats in front of us. We know Hunter Metz had a first quarter hat trick, and we believe that's save number 3 for Walsh.
Yeah, and Stamness right there, he's looking to get another goal, right? Defenseman, you got an opportunity to shoot in an all-star game, you're going to do it. I was going to say the same thing with Sweeney as well too. Kieran gets going downhill, and there was no doubt in my mind that he was going to be a shooter right there.
Jackson Orcutt sending to X inside the red painted Stony Brook end zone. James Finch. Guarded by Casillo. Finch draws the double. Here comes Birch, and we do have a flag flying. I didn't know those were here today.
Yes, I don't know what the call is going to be on this one.
Timeout Nationals.
All right,
The Hankies still out of the pocket by the 10-yard line, so it is the timeout. Stops the clock, 10:02 to go in the second quarter, and kind of feels like we're settling into more normal lacrosse. I think 2 minutes into the first quarter, we'd already had 3 goals scored. Nothing doing here in quarter number 2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, what do you do? You almost have to call a timeout. What are you doing man down wise? What are you doing man up wise? Who's going to be on the field? Who's not going to be on the field? What's your set going to be? All right, they pulled the players before the game started. We got a couple funny things coming here. I don't know. Do we want to go best music, or do we want to go favorite music before a game? A lot of rap music, 90s rock here by Michael Brennan. I like that. 50 cents for Binghamton Birch. Red Hot Chili Peppers for Noah Hahn. I like that.
We've been talking a lot about Hunter Metz, who had that first quarter hat trick. How about the Eagles? A little throwback?
Yes.
You're not seeing that too much from a guy who just graduated high school.
No.
By the way, penalty here on Casillo rather. It's a slashing penalty, 1 minute. So if they can kill it off, released at 9:02. First power play opportunity here in the 6th annual National Senior All-American game. Nationals could use it, trailing by 3. Testa already with 1 goal, feeds the left wing, a little dip, a little go, it sends wide. Rick Giordano, who does have that, quote, hammer shot, just wide of the right post.
Showed his quickness right in there. A little toe drag, gets through, kind of dips and goes.
From a tough angle, count it. It's a power play goal, 2nd consecutive for Timmy Plunkett.
I tell you what, you get your protractor out. The angle that he has on this one, I feel like he's behind the goal. He is 2 yards above goal line extended, and he puts that away. That is a great shot.
Nationals
Look at
goal
that.
scored by number 20.
Just whizzed past Blake O'Callahan.
Yeah.
Second of the game.
By the way, you
Assist
mentioned
on
the
play by
protractor.
number 22, Nick Testa.
Well-timed mention. Timmy Plunkett at one point, and we're talking about those fun questions that these guys filled out, at one point knew over 300 digits of pi. How's that for your protractor?
That is a future mathematician, I will say. Yeah. And he's going to be working for Elon Musk and sending, like, space shuttles up and stuff like that, right? Like, that's going to be... So if somebody has that kind of abilities, that's fantastic.
To be fair, it doesn't say that he knows 300 digits of pi. It says once knew 300 digits of pi.
How many times have
Maybe
you...
it's at 400 now.
Yeah, right, yeah. He could up this game on us a little bit here.
Nationals upping their game here in the second quarter. Shot goes wide. Left side effort by Bennett Matthews, headed to Duke. U.S. Lacrosse Magazine National Player of the Year. And you're going to hear all types of accolades like that all night long. Good movement again here by the Nationals. Straight on, another go, won't go. O'Callahan may have had a piece of it. Ricochets into the bleachers. And Greg, does anything change here knowing that there is no shot clock? Because it doesn't seem like the offenses are being too patient anyway.
No, yeah, I don't think it is. The only thing that changes really in this scenario, especially for these guys, like you're saying, these guys are just going to get an opportunity. They're going to go right after it. That's why they're great players as well, too, right? Their instinct is to make plays, so they're going to go after it. A lot of times when you have players like this, you almost have to pull them back in those scenarios. The only time it makes a difference, to be honest, in my estimation, is right at the end of a quarter or right at the end of the game. You're trying to, stall the game out. To me, that's the only difference, especially in a game like this.
Nationals in transition. They had numbers, but Giordano sailed it over the intended target. So we've already seen a couple of turnovers forced by the Nationals here in the second quarter.
He had the right idea, though. I think he had Plunkett on the crease and was trying to rip him a pass right into the middle of the field. He was kind of one of those sneaker guys right there. That, I will say, Johnny, one of the things that we're seeing tonight is just the off-ball play by the attackmen is fantastic. They're always moving without the ball.
Wide open. Oh, baby. Griffin Seapeel. How's that for your first shot of the game?
Yeah, how does one even do that, right? Like, that is, how many times has he practiced this, right? A little feed to the middle of the crease.
Scored by number 6,
Boom.
Griffin Seapeel. Assist on the play by
Well, if you're going to
number
pull it
1,
out, today's the day to do it,
Paul.
right? That is pretty athletic to be able to do that. He did that in stride, nonetheless.
Number 39 ranked player, according to Inside Lacrosse, brother Quentin, a lacrosse player at Villanova. So he'll be teammates, his brother, with some of the guys that are playing in this game. Also going to be Wildcats. CPL this year, the Ogden Award winner, which is essentially your midfielder of the year. You get a sense why.
Yeah. That's a cool experience for them, that he's going to be able to go play with his brother as well, too. That's nice. That's nice for the family as well. You get to go watch your children play together. I think that's like a parent's dream for something like that to occur, right? Once again, a family with 2 Division I athletes in it, maybe even more that we may not know now at the moment, but like going and playing together, that is awesome for that to occur.
CPL himself, Greg, going to Georgetown. It's a couple of other guys, Passione and Plaze, going to Villanova. They'll be teammates with Quentin.
Oh, okay, my mistake there.
Gosh, Greg.
Yeah.
Little tip, Noah Hahn scores. First shot of the game from Noah Hahn, who just got onto the field. He's headed to Princeton, but first he's headed into the box score here in the Senior All-American game.
Number 11, Noah Hahn.
This is a nice play right here as well, too. Just kind of like rips it, puts it in the corner. It will be cool for them as well because Georgetown will be playing Villanova during the season because they're both part of the Big East, so that's kind of a neat experience.
Early movement from A.J. Young and LaBelle Stadium legacy. So Americans again attacking right, second quarter. 5 minutes gone by, and now they have doubled up the Nationals. We did have the first 2 tallies here in quarter number 2, and we imagine there'll be plenty of back and forth, plenty of runs to be had tonight. As the sun continues to set on the North Shore, and we should be under the lights by the time the second half rolls around. Dan Riley shadowed by A.J. Young. Near side, one of the captains, Balsamo, looking for space, a cheeky effort to try and feed the crease. Didn't get to the intended target. Noah Hahn there, though, to recover. Back with Balsamo, just inside the offensive zone.
You know, and speaking with the coaches as well, too, is one of the things they're saying is you got to let them play. These guys are going to want to make plays as well, too, so let them make the plays. It'll be the team that settles into knowing the difference between, I think, the play to make and the play to not make will probably be the most successful as the game rolls on, right? So, like, if you know, hey, there's a time and place for each one of those things, right? You have the ability to do it, but you don't always have to do it. And I think when the team that figures that out quickest, and they will, both teams will figure it out. The team that figures it out quickest will be the most successful one moving forward.
Giordano gains speed. One of the easier players to locate here with that golden noggin. Coming from Brunswick in Connecticut. Another powerhouse school. There are plenty represented in this game. Long distance effort. Callahan got a piece. O'Callahan, but he didn't get the whole thing. Back to a 3-goal game with 5:16 remaining in the first.
Yeah, it's just a simple little pick play that you're going to see. I think we saw that earlier by the Americans on one of Met's goals. And Plunkett just kind of rolls off. Nice overhand shot. O'Callahan actually has it, but just kind of bobbles it. And it falls right once it passes the white line there. It kind of just falls right into the goal. So unlucky break, good for the Nationals, unlucky for the Americans. But you take it.
Stamnis finally emerges. Well-earned face-off victory. And he feeds it right back to the Central.
Yeah, nice little battle right there for the at the face-off. That was probably the best one, the best scrum that we saw on a face-off battle today. Stamnis kind of all over the field. Got a couple nice goals, a couple nice shots, ground ball right there, working hard.
From another powerhouse, Lawrenceville, New Jersey. He is headed to Michigan. And in fact, the only player in this game out of the 48 that is headed to Michigan.
National save
You know
by
what?
number
I think
23,
Michigan is going to be one of those teams that, like, they have all of the elements, right? They've got big-time football. They've got big-time basketball. Kids are going to want to go to school. It's an excellent school. And I think a lot of the programs that are really good in college lacrosse are excellent schools as well, too. So I think it's just a matter of time for Michigan to get going. The only tough hurdle for them is they're playing in the Big Ten, and I think that's a very difficult conference to be in, especially in the last handful of years where they add Maryland, Rutgers, and Hopkins as well, too.
Roller. Bennett Matthews on the board.
That's like the second trick shot we've seen. You know what? Like it's so cool that these guys have. How many times these guys have practiced this, right? So not just with like practicing it, not just practicing it during their free time, but they've done this in some kind of action. This isn't the first time you pull that kind of a shot out, right? Where you're going, overhand, being in behind and ripping it on the ground like that. That just shows just the level of time that these guys put into their craft, right, when they're not playing and they're not on the field. That's something that you learn how to do, these kind of shots between the legs and then behind the twister shots and stuff. That's the kind of stuff that you learn to do when you're just kind of fiddling on your own, when you're with your buddies and you're doing like that. I heard a guy say one time, a coach, actually Seth Tierney said it one time, at the Hofstra coach. He said, it's your stick, put your name on it. Right, and really what he means is, it's your stick, but it's your craft. If you're going to be crafty and you're going to be a crafty player, learn how to use that stick, man.
No go, it got the side. Rippled the side netting, Americans survive. And right in the middle of transition, a whack. That was by Jaden James, couldn't come up with it, now he does.
Number 18, Blake O'Callaghan.
Goalie's starting to settle in here in the second quarter. O'Callaghan a couple of saves. Walsh has put up a bevy of saves here in the first half. Still trailing by 2, but without his effort, could be double-digit tallies already for the Americans.
Yeah, both goalies, I think you're right about Walsh settling in. I think, you're got to be nervous, like we were saying, you're going to face some of these shots, right? But you settle into the action, your concentration level is going to kind of eke up a little bit when you're playing this type.
Garcia sailed over the cage.
It's hard when you're a goalie in this kind of atmosphere because it's an all-star game and there is a little bit of a lighter attitude toward it, right? The guys are going to do some of the plays that we're seeing today, but as a goalie, you really don't have that option to be light, right? You're in the goal, you're in the crosshairs, right? You got to step in between those pipes and be ready to play, and it's tough sometimes when you have like that kind of like a casual atmosphere.
Another tally, Ross Jacobson. All the way from Torrey Pines, California, coming to the East Coast to attend Dartmouth. He has made it a one-goal game.
Yeah. The California kid right here, I mean, that is a real nice play on his part. He's a good-looking athlete as well, too, right? Like, that's a real nice move from behind the goal and firing it away. That's a nice play.
Twin brother Harry going to join him at Dartmouth. And that has been in the works for quite some time for Ross Jacobson, who committed to the school way back in September of 2024. That's about when he'll arrive, September 2026. Sweeney can't go the distance. I'm not sure he has lost a face-off yet.
That has really been especially early on in the game, right? That was really one of the differences in the game, is just the face-off wins the Americans are getting. But, Johnny, to your point, that the Nationals have certainly settled in here in the second quarter. Like you knew they would. The players are going to start to make some plays.
Gilbane down to the doorstep. Goal 2. It's Noah Hahn. Too easy for number 11. The Nationals get as close as they've been to 1 goal. The Americans get it right back, 2-goal game.
And when you look at this right here, I mean, what an unselfish feed. And Hahn is just putting himself in a great spot, right? Blowing away on the backside. He sneaks to that little spot right there. That's that off-ball play we've been seeing from all of these guys. And the vision of these players as well, too, is really fantastic, right? They're just, it's a skill set that they have as well, too. That through pass is so nice to watch.
McCaffrey. 90% at the face-off dot. but he's also dangerous with the shot.
Americans goal scored by number 14, Brian McCaffrey.
Like we said, these guys, you're face-off guy, and you win it forward, and you've got a lane to the goal. You are going to take it, and that is a real nice shot. He puts it right underneath the pipe right there. That's a nice shot.
Lengthy face-off battle. Drifting toward the far sideline, still dueling. It's won by Jackson Orcutt. Episcopal Academy in Pennsylvania. He's heading to North Carolina as well.
Pennsylvania is one of those areas where they're starting to play some really good lacrosse as well, too. Right?
We know they play good football in Pennsylvania. Orcutt, 50 receptions this year, 900 yards and 10 touchdowns. He is going to UNC for lacrosse. There is a football coach at UNC with a bit of a lacrosse background as well.
Yeah, but you've actually seen a couple teams where you have guys that have played a little bit of college lacrosse, so they're playing a little bit of both the college and the football. The Faison kids over at Notre Dame are playing football and lacrosse, right? You've seen a couple guys actually kind of try and do that. Usually it's the lacrosse guys or coaches are pretty good with you going and playing football. Sometimes the football guys don't want you playing lacrosse.
Orcutt sends to X. And no shot clock, can take their time here. Right back to the top. Low go. O'Callahan gets low. Down to both knees, maybe his best save of the game.
American save by number 18, Blake O'Callahan.
Michael Brennan. Here is Birch, the defenseman. Long stick, sailed it over the cage.
You know, as much as I love that save, I love that outlet just as much, right? He's down, he picks it right up, and he gets it right out to the middle of the field. I think he gets the Brennan in the middle of the field with a fancy little behind-the-back pass. That's pretty athletic play by the goalie. I like it.
25 seconds to play, first half, and a tight one. Loose ball squirts out just outside the 20-yard line. Little pulling and grabbing there. We've had just one penalty, sort of as expected here in the All-Star game. 10 seconds. Nationals trying to make it a 2-goal deficit. And it doesn't appear they'll be able to do it. Well, hold up.
Yep.
Hold your horses here. They do stop the clock. A 17-goal first 24 minutes.
And at halftime,
10 of them
your
belong
score, the Americans
to Gene McCabe's Americans, with 48 of the best players showing their stuff 24 minutes down. It's a first half hat trick for Hunter Metz. 3 out of the 10 for the Americans. Not sure any offensive player looked as good as him, Greg.
No, I don't think so, but I do like the way the Nationals came back and played in that second quarter, right? So the kind of what we expected, the athleticism was going to show for both teams. The Nationals, I think, had a little bit better second quarter than they did first.
All right, down turf side, Matt Chandick is standing by with the aforementioned Hunter Metz.
103 goals so far. Take us through that.
It's awesome to play with these guys. Like the level play here is really unreal. You know, playing with like John fed me like 3 great passes. You know, it's just a great event. So fun.
Unbelievable year for you. 107 points, player of the year. What was it like? You know, you had to change your game a little bit and take on a greater leadership role with the Millens gone. What was that like? Yeah, I mean, it was honestly great for me. You know, Brendan McCabe, guys like Luke Miller, they taught me so much, and then it was kind of like my time this year to kind of like try to step into a role that I hadn't done before. And like all credit to TC, Aiden Fournier, on the same attack line as me. Like that we meshed together really well, and it was a great year. We came up a little short, but it was a great year. Your game seems to have developed. We've always known you as a great goal scorer, but seems to be becoming more comfortable as a Dodger as well. You mentioned you lost a little bit of weight. How much did that kind of help, you know, diversify your game and balance it all out? Yeah, it helped a lot, honestly, just like getting in the gym, like taking that more seriously. It's done so much for my game, and I've been getting in here and guys at McDonough, just like getting in there together, having fun, making it fun, and just it's helped us all out a lot. One final thing, 6 other Notre Dame guys in this game. That's a pretty good presence. What's it like to play with all your future teammates, see the coaching staff in the crowd? I mean, it's awesome. It's so fun. We're going to be out on campus in like a little over a month and a half. So, I mean, just like getting out here, getting to have fun with each other before we go out there. I mean, it's just awesome bonding experience. Just great time out here. Thanks so much. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Hunter, the star of our first half. After a 10-7 first 24 minutes, we'll step aside when we return third quarter action, the 6th annual National Senior All-American Game. Americans over the Nationals 10-7.
Join us this summer for the 13th annual National ID Lacrosse Camp, a traditional, old-school, stay-away teaching camp where the focus is player development. Every year, our staff is comprised of multiple Division I players and coaches, so everyone who attends can learn from the best in the game. Spaces are limited, so don't delay. Apply today. Visit us at crabslax.com.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Too much fun? No such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So, come discover somewhere to smile about. In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. They're all about having fun. That's fun. This is fun. Whoa. Too much fun? No such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So head to the coast and, well, just coast. Pump up the volume, or just pump up the pool floaty. From the boardwalk to the bay, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Ortho Maryland has been servicing the community with orthopedic excellence for 100 years. With 4 locations in Baltimore and Harford counties, we offer same-day and next-day appointments, convenient online scheduling, on-site x-ray, and walk-in orthopedic care 7 days a week. From children to seniors, elite athletes to weekend warriors, our orthopedic specialists and physical therapists are ready to keep you active, thriving, and in the game. When life can't wait, Ortho Maryland is here when you need us. For more information or to schedule an appointment, reach us at orthomaryland.net.
Locally grown, nationally known. We are Crabs Lacrosse. For over 3 decades, parents have chosen us to help their sons develop a path to becoming college lacrosse players. Crabs Lacrosse is more than a collection of teams. We are a family. At Crabs Lacrosse, we focus on being 3 things. Always about our players, deliberate in our development, and focused on a positive experience and positive outcomes. Join us at Crabs Lacrosse.
We welcome you back to Kenneth Laval Stadium, Stony Brook University on Long Island's North Shore, 6th annual National Senior All-American Game. We thrust you right back into the action here in the third quarter. He's Greg Taylor. I'm Johnny Wincott. 10 out of the first 17 belong to the Americans. There was a come-from-behind victory last year, 16-14. That went to the Nationals. We'll see what's in store here for the final 24 minutes. It seems both teams firmly have settled into this game after a kind of wild, wild west first quarter.
Yeah, I can tell you what we're going to see in the second half. We're going to see offense in the second half is what we're going to see. And it's spectacular to watch. I mean, some of the goals that we got to see were fantastic, right? Between the legs, behind the backs, the worm burners. This is fantastic stuff.
Hunter Metz, who joined Matt Chandick on the sideline during halftime, kind of stole the show. First quarter hat trick. Metz again tried to get it to the front. Ricochet to the left wing. Curry couldn't corral.
If I was Metz, I'd say something like, you're not stealing the show when you are the show, right? I mean, he was the show.
Yeah, Hunter is hunting. Here's Seapeel. He had a highlight reel tally in the first half as well. Metz, or rather Logan, Backed up by the Nationals, first opportunity for their offense after a fruitless 60 seconds to start quarter number 3. So kind of as expected, right? First half, Greg, lots of goals. Take a little bit before the defenses start to settle in, and players out of the best in the country, especially offensively. They get an open lane. Not only going to shoot, might shoot in kind of a funky fashion to show you what they've been working on.
Yeah, a little opportunity for them. You don't get a ton of that kind of stuff, right? You just got off your high school season. You're usually not allowed to be as creative as you want to be during the high school season, and certainly not, during a college season as well too, unless it like dictates it. But here, this is what it's about. This is what you're supposed to be able to do. You're kind of showing your craft off and your abilities.
The Americans, number 16, Hunter Mazzatesta.
Sidewinding tally goes wide. Giordano again. He has been sniffing. Tough to tell the difference between number 6 and number 8. Giordano and Garcia, the high school teammates, both sporting the gold noggins. There is Garcia, had his pocket picked. AJ Theodora Kakos goes the distance. Look out.
To stem this right there with the goal, and I think he won. He is pretty athletic, right? The lefty shooter from the outside. He's showing a little bit of a dodging ability right there. Right, he's pretty handy, and this is one of the things you see at the high level of defensemen is they're going to be able to stay down on the offensive end and make plays just like that. And when he gets the ball on his stick, it's not just a random shot. He shoots that low and away to the far pipe. He knows exactly what he's doing right there.
Well, as noted, the Darien, Connecticut native, the only player in this game who's headed to Michigan. And that's looking pretty good for Kevin Conry.
Yeah, definitely right there. And like I said, I think Michigan is on the ascend. I think they're one of those programs that's just like, you need the tipping point right there. They're at that tipping point.
Yeah. Missed out on the NCAA tournament this year. Losers to Johns Hopkins in the midst of the Big Ten tourney. It is another. Americans coming out hot out of the gates. Tucker Gilbane has his first at the 12-7 game.
This is just a straight fast break right there. He catches it at the point right here, and he knows exactly what he's going to do with. Oh, he catches that rebound. Excuse me, I said he caught it at the point. He did not. That's a great behind the back pass by Curry down to him at the low pipe, and he's able to put it away. Nice play right there by Curry. Gilbane is actually like the recipient of a really nice pass by Curry.
Gilbane, one of the 3 team captains tonight for the Americans. 14th overall prospect according to Inside Lacrosse. Actually, originally a UVA commit. Headed to Princeton. If he was a UVA commit, they would have 8 players in this game headed there. In fact, Virginia was here earlier this year to take on Stony Brook. Game they dominated. Got off to a 10-0 start.
And he's going to Princeton. I mean, that's obviously not a bad choice as well, too, as they won the national championship this year.
Goal. Making it look easy from an impossible angle. Lucas Garcia, who Inside Lacrosse has the second best player in the country.
Nationals goal scored by number 6, Lucas Garcia.
This is another one of these like protractor shots as well, too, when he puts it in the top corner, right? That commit to Virginia right there. He is sensational. That's a nice rope right there.
We told you last year, Brendan Millen had a hat trick for the Americans in this game. He did the same at the stadium this year as a freshman against Stony Brook. You never know, could find yourself right back on this field as a freshman next year. As Gavin Gartner goes up against Kieran Sweeney. Sweeney has been a tough opponent in this game. Bouncing ball, it is earned by guess who? Wyatt Stamnus.
He is having a heck of a game. Great on the wing here, and obviously we talked about in transition as well too. He's a good-looking athlete as well too.
National champion in 2014 with Lawrenceville, New Jersey, when they were ranked the #1 team in the country. About 4 minutes gone by here in the third. Well, shake and bake, Gavin Gilmore. Spin dodge right, looking for a lane. Now Gilmore doubled. Ethan Pramoff serves his Johnny on the spot, the long stick midi. And escorts into the O-zone, down to the doorstep. Oh my, Danny Rooney. A transition tally for the Nationals. It comes courtesy of Bramoff, then to Rooney.
Nationals
one here in the
goal
third
scored
quarter.
by number 1.
I'm wondering right here.
Bramoff.
Yeah, Bramoff's going to get the tally. I don't know if Rooney actually hits this or not. Let's take a look. I don't think so. Is that almost like, did he just drop his stick to let it go in? Is that what he did right there?
Well, Rooney gave the point to Ethan Bramoff, so let's give the goal to Ethan Bramoff.
That, I have to say, that is something that goes through your mind as a goalie. When somebody's feeding it, you're following the ball to them, and you know it's a pass, but you have to follow it anyway. It's the toughest thing to do.
Here comes Sweeney. Misses wide, but he continues to be an absolute force at Wolfie. Sweeney from the McDonough School in Maryland. Plays for the Annapolis Hawks for his club ball. You want those fun facts? He knows the Greek alphabet, Greg.
Yes.
That could come in handy on the lacrosse field. Good save, maybe the first of the day by Thomas Plaze.
Does he know 300 letters in the Greek alphabet, though?
I don't think that's possible.
I mean, probably not.
Plaze, by the way, in net now for the Nationals, the 2026 Philly Player of the Year. En route to the Inter-AC Championship and the Pennsylvania State Championship. But he's not stopping that one.
That's a real crafty little feed from Riley. So I think Riley is going to dish that over.
Americans goal.
Yeah, he's got a little lefty dodge here. Yeah, he kind of just flips it over to Curry, and Curry puts it away. That's a nice, once again, a nice backside pipe cut right there, and a real nice feed. It's almost like it's just whoop, he just kind of flips it over there. We got lucky here today in a lot of ways. I mean, we could have been playing last week. What a beautiful night for these guys to come out and play as well, too. I mean, last week it was 900 degrees on Long Island. I don't know if you felt it, but I did. This is trouble here for the Americans, I would think.
Nationals, who trailed by just one, now in a 4-goal deficit. Rooney out from X, looking for a lane, shielded by Novak. Off-ball cutter, Garcia. Again, no shot clock. It take as long as you'd like here.
It's actually one of the things that the players will learn when they get older. Is Rooney has his man, he's got his man hung, right? So he's got the goalie out and he's got the defenseman out on either side. But the offensive players get so close to the crease, they don't give themselves space to cut, and it becomes easier for the defenseman. They actually needed to spread that up about 10 yards, and they would have probably gotten an easy goal.
Jump shot. Wide of the near side post. It is Danny Rooney again, who is headed to Maryland after a stellar career locally at St. Anthony's.
I want to give Novak a little credit right there on that dodge. We haven't been giving the defenseman any love right there. He gets a nice little check on Rooney right before, right? He gets a nice little check on Rooney right before he shoots.
Oh, how about that defense? The stick of Blake Farnsworth just prevented probably an automatic goal at the near side. Farnsworth, another one, headed to Dartmouth. Part of back-to-back Virginia State titles at St. Anne's Belfield. So halfway through quarter number 3, Americans still in relative command of this game, but with these type of players, a game like lacrosse, anything could happen at any point in time.
It's like the NBA, right? Everybody goes on a run, right?
But you should watch the whole game. Don't just tune in for the fourth quarter.
No, don't do that. Yeah, don't just tune in for the last 2 minutes.
Gilbane to X. Still Gilbane, he's got a lane, he shoots it wide to the left post. Thomas Plaze hugging along the orange bar. A PA state title with Malvern Prep this year in Pennsylvania. Hunter Metz back at it. Just outside the crease, shot sails over. Again, Tuck Gilbane in search of goal number 2. And we're near the 5-minute marker now in the third quarter. As noted last year, 30 combined goals and a 16-14 win. We've already got 22 today.
This is one of these instances right now where you're having a shot after shot that's not hitting the goal. When we talked about like the shot clock situation, right? So we're playing a lot of defense right now. and the players just haven't hit the goal. This would have been one of those scenarios where the Nationals would have gotten the ball back, I think, and if we're playing by college rules.
Logan, well defended by Giordano. Logan still gets the shot off and scores. Josh Logan, the 54th ranked prospect at Inside Lacrosse. Certainly looked a lot better on that shot. It is another third quarter tally by the Americans.
When he shoots there, right, it's almost like he just stops and he's like, all right, enough of this. I'm just putting this in the back of the goal. Like, I'm dodging hard. This guy's all over my arm. I'm just, boop, going to plant myself. Nice over-the-hand shot. I was not expecting him to do that. I was expecting him to continue his dodge and throw it to X, and he was just like, nah, I'm not going to have that, right? We're going to stop right here.
Well, this is starting to pretty much become a training video for UVA and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
14 out of the 48 players headed there in a couple of months.
I tell you, another ground ball by Stamness. These guys, he is just all over the field.
Time and space. Gilbane off target again.
When you watch how quick these guys are and how they're setting, they're offensively, they're setting their players up. Curry right there, setting his defenseman up, knowing he's going to throw that check. That is a great behind the back pass. I just don't think that Gilbane knew that it was coming, right? wouldn't have thought that he would have thrown that pass. That is a great feed right there, right? Cross field feed from behind the back. Wow. Just about on the money. Not in the box, but close enough. And you know what, Johnny, as the players are settling into the game, they're all tremendously athletic, right? But as they're starting to settle into the game, you're really seeing how they play as players, and you can see to yourself, okay, now I know why, I can see why they got recruited by Princeton or Duke or UNC or UVA, whatever it may be, or Dartmouth, right? This is what they really do well, and that's what we're starting to see right now. Like Curry in the beginning of the game, oh, he's quick, he's athletic, but you can see what he does really well after you watch a couple runs on him. And there's a number of guys that are like that, right? You're just like, wow, I can see why these guys have been recruited at this high level. Because athleticism is table stakes, right? When you play Division I lacrosse, like you just have to be athletic, you have to be quick, you have to be fast, you have to have all those things. What does your game look like? I think that is like brings you to this high level of lacrosse.
Plunkett going down. Haven't been a ton of physical play, kind of as expected in an all-star game, but it's getting late now. Final 3 minutes of the third quarter. Americans trying to provide a little insurance before we get to quarter number 4.
I think he wanted to shoot it, then he saw the defenseman charge, and then he wanted to swim the defenseman. He probably should have just shot off the defenseman's hip, use him as a screen.
Here's Joe Ligas. Ligas, shut down. Hunter Mezzatesta.
American saved by number 16, Hunter Mezzatesta.
This is a beaut right here. Snap, bang. Now, here's a fun fact, Mezzatesta. He broke the Yorktown High School saves record that was held by his high school coach, who held it for 45 years. That is unbelievable.
Joe Colarusso. Well, he says, as expected, one of his biggest influences, his goalie coach. We'll see if he has another save in him here. Jump shot, he does. Got it with the left knee. Mezzatesta preserves a 5-goal advantage. Final 100 seconds of the third quarter.
He is quick. He's got nice hands. Moves really well.
Not stopping that one, Lucas Garcia all alone at the doorstep. The captain finishes double digits now for the Nationals as they make it a 4-goal game.
What a save right there. He's just so quick, pounces on that ball right there. And this feed, we were saying it the entire time, the attackman, Garcia right here, he just puts himself in just great locations. These guys just know the right spot to be at the right time. That's why he's going to UVA.
Number 6, Lucas
right? You have the ability to do that.
Second of the game.
Now, this thing you're thinking to yourself, is this going to be one of these, you know, is this going to be one of these matches that you see, you know, moving forward at the face-off X? Like, we're going to watch one of these Final Four games, and you're going to see Sweeney at one of these at the face-off X. It's quite possible that that's going to occur, right? Heading to Notre Dame, they were in the national championship this year, right? You know, face-off guy, he could be in the national championship next year. I mean, that is unbelievable to think, and he is having a day today.
I almost think that's not fair for Joe Presci's team. He's getting all the good players.
Yeah.
Showed you how important the recruiting is, right? Obviously, you get any of these 48 guys, you're probably going to be pretty happy. But if you get 7 out of these 48 guys, I mean, you're elated going into that next season. Tough angle go over the cage. And if we've learned anything so far in this third quarter about Mezzatesta, it's going to have to be a good effort.
And then I was actually thinking to myself, you were saying, you know, they have 7, right? So Virginia has 7, Notre Dame has 7. How many recruits do they have in that class? Right? But you bringing in maybe 12 guys, 10, 12 guys? You're bringing in 10, 12 guys?
You got one more year of eligibility, Greg?
No, thank God. That's the last thing I would want to do is stand in front of one of these shots.
Here's your guy, Stamnis. Left wing, crank goal. Another one for Tuck Gilpayne. And every time the Nationals seem to inch a little closer, the Americans have an answer.
Tuck Gilpayne.
You know, Johnny, when we're watching this one right now, I want to say this is almost like, it's almost like a little bit of, not a slap shot, but it's almost like a wrist shot right there. You know, it kind of comes off weird. And I think he kind of handcuffs the goalie right there. I don't think the goalie's necessarily ready for that kind of an action, right? Like, it's like, kind of like jelly legs him a little bit, right? Handcuffs him.
Sweeney, Gilpayne. 25 seconds ago, third quarter, shot got blocked. There was Ty Curry going for a hat trick. Americans will have the restart, final 22 seconds in the third quarter. Sun continues to set on the North Shore. Might be fully under the lights for quarter number 4. Great setup, great finish. Second goal for Gilpayne in 15 seconds on the behind-the-back facilitation from Ty Curry.
Americans goal scored by number 9.
What a great feed, a nice cut and finish right there. That is beautiful. You can see why Gilpayne's going to Princeton. You can see why Curry's going to Notre Dame. That's the second time we've seen Curry feed it to Gilpayne. The first time Gilpayne wasn't ready for it. This time he was, and he was going to let. He owes him an egg sandwich from Seaport Deli tomorrow morning, I think, with that feed right there. That is a beautiful feed and a nice finish. A little bacon, egg, and cheese maybe tomorrow morning.
You're making me hungry. Largest lead of the game now for the Americans. Almost another for Gilpayne. Would have been his third in 20 seconds. Final 9.7. Americans a touchdown advantage working out of the end zone. Here is Metz. Tough angle go, went right across the crease. And the final few seconds took away here in the third quarter. So a 6-goal lead for the Americans. Final 12 minutes coming up here at LaValle Stadium. The 6th annual National Senior All-American game. The Americans 12 minutes away from victory.
In Ocean City, Maryland, having fun is kind of our thing. I mean, look at these two. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Too much fun? No such thing. Because here, even leg day is fun. So, come discover somewhere to smile about.
Join us this summer for the 13th Annual National ID Lacrosse Camp, a traditional, old-school, stay-away teaching camp where the focus is player development. Every year, our staff is comprised of multiple Division I players and coaches, so everyone who attends can learn from the best in the game. Spaces are limited, so don't delay. Apply today. Visit us at crabslax.com.
Did we mention picture-perfect conditions for the 6th annual National Senior All-American game on the North Shore? Joined alongside Greg Taylor, who used to play right here on the property. I'm Johnny Wincott. 6-goal cushion for the Americans, 12 minutes away from a victory. Trying to get some revenge from last year. The Nationals have come from behind 16-14 victory. Well, the Nationals are going to need lots of goals and to do it quick here in the 4th quarter, but if there were ever a squad to do it, maybe the guys who are part of the best 48 players in the country.
Yeah, as the sun sets on tonight's game, yes,
nice.
the Nationals have an opportunity here in the 4th quarter. Really, as the sun sets on their high school careers as well, too, right, as they're moving on to the collegiate level after this.
Brian McCaffrey, who wins the face-off, shoots and scores. Not just a Fogo. Scouting report says he's a legitimate offensive threat. He scores 16 seconds into the 4th quarter.
By number 14, Brian McCaffrey.
And he earned it. Picks up the ground ball, brings it down, hits him off stick high. That's a nice shot. If I got it right, is that his 2nd goal of the game? Do I have that correct? Or maybe it's his 2nd shot of the game. Anyway, that was a nice play right there.
His brother Sean at Quinnipiac. Brian, though, 90% of the face-off. The leader in ground balls in the state of New Jersey this year, 125 of them. Gardner v. Sweeney, both teams new blood. Big battle, still going. Imagine Sweeney has been a tough opponent. And at the dot, Sweeney gonna get there. Can't scoop it. It's a lengthy one.
You just see how hard these guys are playing, right? Does it, like that ground ball lasts forever. That's just because it's out of will for both teams.
Time and space, near post, won't go. Another high-quality denial by Mezzatesta. Quickly putting his stamp on this game. Hasn't made many saves, but they've been impressive ones.
That is actually, I think that's a beautiful save right there. I think UVA's got a good one coming their way, right? He's got quick hands, he's got quick feet, he moves well, he obviously sees the ball really well. He's going to be a nice one moving forward. We'll see him on TV for sure.
Casillo had it popped out of his cross. He recovers. Casillo has the honor of the only player to take a penalty in this game, a 1-minute slashing penalty. Nationals made good on the power play.
Let's credit the defenseman right there. That was Owen James with a nice over-the-head check. We would love to see, love to get them a little credit right today. This is a tough day for them. I was thinking earlier before we were kind of saying how it's a tough day for the defensemen. It really is a tough day because these guys, offensive players, get to play loose, and defensively, you've got to cover guys that are playing in this kind of loose fashion, and the last thing you want to be is on their highlight reel, right? And it's going to get spread throughout the entire world, right? If especially the way that these guys are playing. So you give the defensemen a lot of credit. They're going against the best offensive players in the country. They haven't had a lot of time to prepare, and I think they're doing a nice job.
Garcia to the interior. There's a spin, a shot, a goal. No eyes necessary. Bennett Matthews goes behind the back. And the New Hampshire Gatorade Player of the Year in football has the goal here on the lacrosse field.
It's a nice behind the back. And look where he puts it. It's so close to the pipe. I mean, he really sneaks that into the corner right there. That's a nice play. And yes, I mean, we talked about before with I think McCaffrey was a wrestler. He's the football player. You kind of recruiting multiple athletes. I think sometimes you as a coach, you might even say to yourself, I want to know what they're doing. I want to know what they're doing not during the lacrosse season. I know he's a good lacrosse player. I want to know what he's doing in the fall. I want to know what he's doing in the winter, right? Is he playing basketball? Is he wrestling? Is he playing football? Soccer?
Matthews went to Bedford High School in New Hampshire. Left as their all-time leading scorer, 375 points. 121 of them came this year. And he had 38 touchdowns.
38 touchdowns. Holy schmolies.
The National Gatorade Player of the Year out of New Hampshire also happens to be the #3 player in the country in lacrosse, according to Inside Lacrosse. Nationals trying to start making their comeback bid. Time fleeting here, fewer than 9 minutes. That's a great feed. That's a better save. Mezzatesta, rebound available, they score. Timmy Plunkett is Johnny on the spot, and he is the leading goal scorer today for the Nationals.
Goal scored by number 20, Tim Plunkett, his 4th of the game.
He really is the beneficiary of this save right here. Mezzatesta, beautiful save. It pops right into his spot. Right, he is Johnny on the spot, but he also is making a play. Right, he's moving his feet. He's not staring and watching. That's a nice finish by Plunkett as well too. You get it in your stick, you still have to make it happen, and he does right there.
So 1/3 of the offensive production today for the Nationals provided by Timmy Plunkett. A Tarrytown native, Iona Prep, who had 5 goals and a big win this year over Don Bosco. So he's used to playing up to the bar in a big game. So it's down to 5. Nationals trailed by as many as 7. And as noted, you've certainly got the personnel to put together a lot of goals in a short period of time, but so does the other team.
Yeah, but you win a faceoff, you got another possession, you can cut it to 4.
3.5 minutes played here in quarter number 4. A hop and a step Jacobson. He's got 2 already. One-touch feed to the front. Between the legs effort won't go. Bennett Matthews again.
Competition going on between the attackmen. See who's got the best finish of the day.
Yeah, if this was a conference collegiate game, that probably wouldn't fly at this point in the game. But it does now.
That would right there by Plunkett.
5 goals by Plunkett. And now it's just a 4-goal game.
Nationals goal scored by number 20.
Once again, just cutting through the crease.
His 5th of the game.
Nice behind the back shot right there. Uses the defender as a screen, puts it in a good spot right there. That's a nice play.
Plunkett, the first sophomore in New York State history to be a USA Lacrosse High School All-American, accrued 198 points in his first 2 seasons. Upperclassmen-like numbers for at the time and underclassmen.
Right.
These face-off battles getting a little more physical here late in the game. And with 8 minutes to play, what's kind of become a big face-off here goes to the Americans. Right, the Nationals win that face-off, maybe get down the field and get a goal. Now things start to get interesting. And with no shot clock, maybe the Americans start to take their time now offensively.
Yeah, this is kind of when you're going to start to see some of the juice going with these guys a little bit. You're going to a little time where we've got 48 alphas on the field right now, but I think we're going to have a couple try to step up and be the alpha of the alphas. You know what I'm saying? So that's from both teams. You're going to see that right now.
From X, sidewinder, no. Laze up to the challenge. Great feed down the central.
National save by number 19, Thomas Plose.
Oh, what a shot, top right corner. Nick Testa, who has also been impressive in this game. It is a 3-goal game with still 7:15 remaining.
Yeah, what a save. That save starts it off, gets it right out to the middle of the field. Testa uses his defenseman right there. Boom, puts it right to the corner. That is a great finish. And like we said, just moving along, kind of the Nationals kind of just whittling away right now. And you can almost feel a little bit of the intensity in the stands here, right? We got the windows open on this beautiful evening. You kind of feel a little bit of the juice kind of get up a little bit here, you know?
Three 3-0 run by the Nationals. A well-timed one to keep them in this game in the 4th quarter. John Balsamo faces up. Older brother Charles has been 2 years at Duke, 2 years at UVA. Now safely in the cross of the netminder, Plase.
That's a nice pick play by Plase right there. right? And it's not something you're going to read. You're going to see it as a turnover, right? But that's a real nice play. It just stops the opportunity for a goal. That's really what it does.
So the Nationals looking to get the personnel they like out there. Not in any rush, despite less than 7 minutes remaining. We told you, some of the best offensive players in the country, they can get it done very quickly. Jacobson, leaning left, throws the bouncer to the near corner. The jumping bean, number 22, Nick Testa.
Yeah, he seems to have the matchup that he wants. He's looking to get a little pick, it looks like.
Bond stayed with him. That is Jackson Pond, the Dallas native coming to North Carolina. Double team on Plunkett, that seems like a good idea. He loses it.
But that's Stamnus right there. He is all over the field. Double team, taking the ball away, picking it up, pushing it in transition.
Oh, no look pass. Birch was there, couldn't catch cleanly. And this will allow the Nationals back in transition. Behind the back shot, not getting past Mezzatesta. Cheeky effort by James Finch. And all of a sudden, Hunter Mezzatesta becoming a key figure in this fourth quarter. They may need him again. Fewer than 6 minutes remaining. Past the halfway marker, quarter number 4. Again, Nationals are on a 3-0 run. They need 3 more to tie.
He's absolutely stealing goals right now. He's so quick.
Behind the back, it goes again. Bennett Matthews, another player finding himself all over the box score.
Number 14, Bennett Matthews.
And a timeout on the field after a 4-0 run has made it a 2-goal game.
Yeah, and I think that's a good timeout right there. Remember, they talked about it. What are you going to be doing as a coach? I'm going to get the players out on the field. I'm going to get them in the right spots. But every once in a while, when we need a timeout, that's when I'm going to make that call, right? So we saw a timeout earlier to get the man up, man down settled. And I think this is a timeout just to calm the guys down a little bit. We got 5:23 to go. We can kind of just turn it down a little bit.
We told you all about the come-from-behind victory last year by the Nationals, a 16-14 final. They're getting awfully close here. Still plenty of time to work with, Greg. 5:23 is a lifetime in lacrosse.
Yeah, it really is. And with these guys, right, anything can happen. I wanted to take a look at these guys heading off to school, and now you start to think about what their future majors are going to be, and they're pretty impressive here, right? Bunch of business, bunch of economics, Ligas, accounting and finance, Tanner Ulrich, business and finance, AJ Young, psychology and pre-law right there. That's pretty impressive stuff. These guys not only lacrosse players, but student athletes as well, too. Now, I love this one as well. Blake O'Callahan is going history. Love the history majors. Economics and Mandarin for Remy Z.
Facing off for the Americans, number 21, Kieran Sweeney.
Very impressive with these guys. I like what they're doing. And it's
for the
smart. They're
Nationals,
picking
number
the
24,
schools that they're
DJ
going
Young.
to between Dartmouth and Georgetown and Duke. These are all fantastic schools, right? They pick great majors from the schools. They can set themselves up not only for lacrosse, but for life after lacrosse, right? So student athlete first in this one.
Boy, Americans could really use a tally here. Sweeney provided on the face-off yet again. And now it doesn't seem like they're in as much of a rush in the midst of 4 consecutive scored against them with 5 minutes to go.
You know, and slowing the game down is smart. It makes sense. If it takes you out of your groove, though, and you don't score, you know, unless you're going to plan on holding it for 5 minutes.
Or do that. Noah Hahn, hat trick.
Americans goal scored by number 11, Noah Hahn, his 3rd of the game.
I mean, this is just a straight rip right here, right? Gets his hands free. Whoop. Did you see that? No, because he shot it around the defenseman. That's why you didn't see that. We had a great angle of that shot, and he really hides that shot from the defenseman. The key for good goaltending is you got to see the ball coming out of the head of the stick, right? If you can see it coming out of the head of the stick, you can make a save. There, you don't see it coming out of the stick. You just see it coming off the defender's hip right there. Beautiful play. Smart.
Final 4:44 fourth quarter. Brian McCaffrey emerges again. Told you, wins face-off, could also contribute in the offensive game. And the Americans again swiftly back into the right end at Laval Stadium. Crease ball. Griffin Seapeel emerged, and I think a timeout. Yeah.
American.
Gene McCabe said his goal, calls some well-timed timeouts. I think that's one right there. 4:20 to go in the fourth quarter, Greg.
Yeah, I think that is a well-planned timeout. Listen, I've got more for you here. I'm not done. We've got favorite meals that mom makes for you. Listen to this one. I like this one the best. Kieran Sweeney's got Thanksgiving dinner as a whole. There's nothing better than the smell of Thanksgiving dinner. Fried flounder and fettuccine alfredo for Stamnus.
I think my favorite was John Balsamo. He just said, I like to cook, Chef Balsamo.
Yeah, I was trying to sneak that into the broadcast as well, too. Serving something up for Chef Balsamo.
He's starting to cook.
Yeah.
After he gets a couple of goals.
And Remy Zeaton right here, roast duck.
That's a good man. It's the same guy who said that if he had $200,000, he'd buy a Toyota Camry and bank the rest.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying the $200,000 for a car, and I was thinking to myself, it's really not that outlandish anymore with the price of cars nowadays. Now, I sound like an old man. Get off my lawn. I do sound like an old man when I say stuff like that, but it is the truth. Doesn't mean it's not true.
Well, if you're not a highly recruited Division I lacrosse player, that is essentially your college tuition.
Absolutely.
Double team from the Nationals. Full ride. And it does work. Plaze was out of his crease for a moment. Nationals earn the turnover. Trailing by 3, final 4 minutes. Testa hits his man in stride. Down the left wing. And I think a timeout now by Pete Toner.
Nationals.
And Nationals are going to talk things over. 3:54 remaining. They need 3 goals to tie the game.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. You get that timeout right there. The Americans take that timeout, and I think it was a good timeout. But what you do is you give that opportunity to the Nationals to set up what they were going to do to double the ball and pull the goalie out of the cage, right? So great that you got it, but then now you got to actually hold and continue to get possession and give the Nationals an opportunity to jump and press. Good call, I think, by the Nationals, because I do think that even though Testa was trying to make a play to the defenseman in the middle of the field, he wasn't in a position to shoot and score, and I was afraid he was going to lose the ball right there. So it'll be interesting. At this point in time, you're not concerned necessarily about playing time and who's gone on the field, or who's your 6th best offensively, and you're going to get them on, and you can see what they can do, right, to make a play. That the only thing they have to do is they got to beat Metsä in the goal.
49th and 50th players tonight. Class of 2036.
It's 20. Yeah, you're close, probably. Somewhere in there. Somewhere in there.
All right, so we'll see what Pete Toner has drawn up on the theoretical clipboard for the players that he just met. 350. Testa controls. Long distance, won't go. 4th save of the quarter by Metsä Testa.
American save by number 16.
I almost feel like the Americans came out in a zone here. I think they are. I think the Americans popped into a zone really quickly.
Giordano sailed the feed cross field. That's going to be a costly turnover with 3:30 to go. Americans take over. Still with that 3-goal cushion. Told you, Nationals, the winners last year, 16-14. We've already got more goals in this game than we had all of last year.
We knew that goals were going to come, and we're going to watch some fantastic play. Right now, we're really watching some good defense. Right, defense has kind of reigned supreme here now in the latter half of the 4th quarter. Right, as the game starts tightening up a little bit, and you kind of get that juice going a little bit.
Like, You mentioned the NBA before, but an NBA All-Star game, nobody plays defense for 3.5 quarters, and then everyone locks in at the end.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's true. I don't know if they lock in at the end. If you're calling that locking it in at the end, I don't know what unlocked looks like.
Under 3 minutes, great feet at the doorstep. It will not go. Mezzatesta out of the crease into his cross. And with the clock continuing to tick under the 3-minute marker, Americans growing closer to the victory here at Stony Brook. That bodes the question here, Greg Taylor. How much does a victory mean to one of these teams in a game like this?
Well, I think at the moment it always means a lot. Listen, you're a competitor, right? If it doesn't make a difference what you're playing if you're a competitor, right? You could just be chipping balls, right? It doesn't make a difference whatsoever. So like if you're competitors, and these guys are competitors, they're highly competitive, they want to win, right? Not only they want to win, they want to make a play to win as well too.
Theodore Akakos up the left wing. I feel like the Americans probably one goal from sealing the deal here. John Balsama, one of their 3 team captains, in no rush.
Can he serve up a victory here today, Johnny?
His team has cooked, Greg.
Oh, there we go. Now, this is where we talked about the shot clock. This is where the shot clock is going to play a difference. Like, are they going to continue to put the foot to the floor, or are they going to pull it out, slow it down? Yep, and they're going to force the Nationals to double team.
Yeah, no John Wooden offense, but there is no shot clock.
Yeah. We're gonna spread the floor right now. It's so difficult to do this. It's so simple to say we're gonna double the ball and then everybody else lock off, but it's physically the most difficult thing to do. And then you've got a goalie outside of the goal who's got to make a play like that. That's incredibly difficult, but this is something you never practice. It's just not part of your skill set for some of these guys to do something like this. And it's at the end of the game when you're tired and you got to make a play. That's a great check, by the way. Highlight defenseman again. Let's do it.
Jaden James, but now it's free. Won't go. Plaze, the playmaker with under a minute to go. So a great save. Time fleeting on the Nationals. They got to move down 3. Left wing Testa, he scores. Roof shot over top of Mezzatesta. It's a 2-goal game with 46.5 remaining.
Nationals goal scored by number 22, Nick Testa, his 3rd of the game.
So you get a highlight reel takeaway, then you get the goalie making a play, clearing it upfield, and then you score one in transition. I think Testa absolutely had to shoot that right there. But like, we almost saw 3 goals. Was it the end of the half? The first half, it was the end of the 3rd quarter, where Gilbane himself almost scored 3 goals.
Could hear some players turf side saying, let the Americans shoot it.
Yes. But then you hear in yellow from the coaching staff, which is like slow it down, slow it down.
Long distance heave by Burke, intercepted at midfield. Final 15 seconds in the cross at Theodore Akakos. So the Americans in the red painted end zone here at Stony Brook will emerge victorious. They got tested in the 4th quarter by the Nationals.
And your final score.
And the final score, Americans 18, Nationals 16. And after a 2-goal victory by the Nationals last year, Greg, the Americans returned the favor. An incredible showcase of 48 of the best players in the country.
Yeah, and we were entertained for the last 2 hours with great offense, great defense, excellent goaltending as well too. I mean, the college game is in good hands. From what we're watching, or what we watched today, Johnny, the college game is in good hands, because these are the next level of players that are coming around. These are going to be the names you're going to be hearing about, and they are awesome. What a fun game to watch, well-played game, and man, the talent is absolutely there.
Yeah, if you're Kevin Corrigan, you're probably feeling pretty good after 48 minutes in this game. Same holds true for Kevin Cassis. Used to roam these sidelines briefly at Stony Brook. In a moment, we'll get you turf side with Matt Chandick. He'll be joined by our co-MVPs. It's going to be Hunter Metz. It's going to be Kieran Sweeney. Two players certainly deserving of being the co-MVPs tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, they complement each other in a way, because you got Sweeney, who's winning all the face-offs, and he's getting it down to the offensive end, and Metz is just kind of taking care of it. I think that's a great call right there. All night long, Sweeney at the X. And Metz, man, he is really a real nice player. You don't know exactly how everybody's going to kind of fit in, but you can definitely understand why Kevin Corrigan was pulling that guy in and taking a look. It kept pulling that guy in to recruit. And then Sweeney as well, too. I mean, both guys going to Notre Dame. Kevin Corrigan has got to be real pleased tonight about seeing that.
So the handshake lines here, and as we noted, a lot of these guys will either be teammates in college, maybe played against each other tonight. Maybe they were teammates in high school, played against each other tonight. Maybe they were teammates today for the first time, and they're going to continue being teammates at their Division I institution.
And it is actually one of the cool things about lacrosse, and the sport has grown. It certainly has grown since I played, right? And I think that's really cool, but it's still a small sport. There's still a lot of intimacy involved in the sport, and this is one of the cool pieces about it, is you have a game like this, and all these guys are together, and then they're going to be seeing each other and going to be talking to each other as it goes on. They're going to kind of become familiar faces, right? The lacrosse world is a family, right? And everybody kind of knows each other in this world, and this is kind of like their introduction to that. They're learning that as well too. It's not just their club teams, and it's not just their high school teams that they're friends with. They kind of become friends with everybody who's like a lacrosse guy.
All right, moments away from joining our co-MVPs, just kind of getting their hardware and their caps on. After an 18 to 16 victory, Americans over the Nationals. And we will go turf side. Matt Chandick standing by with our co-MVPs.
All right, joined by the co-MVPs of the 2026 National All-Star All-American Game, Kieran Sweeney and Hunter Metz, both from McDonough, both headed to Notre Dame. Can you hear me? There we go. So Kieran, dominant performance at the X. What was it like? Seemed like you got in a rhythm early.
Yeah, I mean, I was just excited to be out here. I mean, it was awesome to be invited out, awesome to compete against some of the best guys in the country. It was even better to be on the same team as some of my future teammates, one of my old teammates as well. It was just a good time. I was excited to get in a rhythm early. Me and Brian, I feel like it was a good pair. And yeah, it was a fun time.
We talked at halftime. Obviously, you were doing pretty well, but and things changed a little bit in the second half. But what's it like to play in a game like this, where obviously so much focus is on the offensive skill?
I mean, it's so awesome. There's so many good guys out here. It makes it honestly easy to play out here. Like, there's guys that can hit you wherever you are on the field. And it's just a blast being out here with all these guys. Again, like Kieran said, like guys we're gonna play with in college, guys we're gonna play against in college. It was just awesome to be out here.
You know, you had last year's MVP, Aiden Seibel, a pretty good goalie you played with. 23 was McCabe Millen. What is it about this game that brings out the best in the McDonough guys?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's just lucky. I don't know. It's just awesome being out here again, like I said. I mean, Brendan, McCabe, they've all told us how fun it is to play in this game, and we were so excited when me and Kieran got the call to play. We were fired up.
Really good battle, obviously, with four of the top face-off guys in the class. What do you kind of think is about this face-off class that kind of maybe sets it apart with not just you but some of the other guys that you went up against tonight?
Yeah, I think something unique about this face-off class is there's a lot of balanced talent throughout the whole East Coast down to the West Coast, and a lot of balanced guys where they're not relying on one move in particular, but they can pull a couple tricks out of the hat and get a win in multiple ways. There's plenty of talented guys who can do that throughout every year, but I think there's a good handful of guys who are pretty talented in that aspect in this class specifically.
You talked about playing with some teammates, obviously a big Notre Dame contingent tonight. What's that like?
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, we had an hour or two before the game just in the locker room with everybody from both teams. So kind of just goofing around, having fun with everybody, kind of building some chemistry. Looking forward to spending some time playing with and playing against all these guys moving forward.
Thanks a lot to our MVPs. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Well, appreciated, Matt. This game continues to be a great advertisement for McDonough, the school down in Maryland. They get co-MVPs today, 18-16, your final. The Americans over the Nationals in the 6th annual National Senior All-American Game. big thank you to Becca Garner, our producer, our entire hardworking crew here at Stony Brook University. For my broadcast partner, Greg Taylor, I'm Johnny Wincott. We say so long and farewell from Long Island's North Shore. 48 of the best in the country showing their stuff tonight. The Americans just narrowly edging the Nationals by 2.